Monsters have been around for years, from the universal monsters such as the Mummy and Frankenstein. Then came the slasher killers such as Freddy and Jason, who stalk teenagers in either a suburban or camp setting. But what about the monsters that will appear every week in every episode for most of a series? Monster of the Week is a storytelling technique going back decades, probably first popularized by Ultraman and then shot into the stratosphere by both Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. The force of this trope of storytelling finally exploded with the release of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which used Sentai battle footage cut with American footage to tell their own unique stories. The idea of this trope is that the big bad sends out a monster in order to destroy our heroes for them. The hero fights them but has trouble with their unique power. The hero then works out a plan or just hits their weak spot for massive damage to defeat them, and the episode ends. Now, this may sound like a pretty standard formula, but it can be taken beyond with good writing and acting. So let's take a look at two examples, starting with something that I mentioned before, Power Rangers, with my favourite season. This season was about a rogue computer virus building an army and wiping out most of humanity. The remnants of humanity live in a shielded dome city called Corinth. The scientist known as Dr. K assembles their own team of rangers to battle the virus and his machine monsters with anime lords and development for every character in the cast. In this episode, Dr. K discovers that they can't keep up with the technological advances of Venjix.
Hold everything. Peter, are we or are we not the good guys?
Tell me, what's it like?
What's what like?
Being stupid your whole life. Is it as wonderful as it seems?
Venjix unleashes a robot that has the power to recreate any weapon caught in its reflection. After the Rangers get beaten out of their Megazords, the robot suffers a system failure and shuts down. It's brought to the Good Doctor's lab when the trap is sprung. The henchwoman of Venjix, Tenaya 7, was hidden inside the robot and attacks the lab. To make matters worse, a second Reflex bot is already giant and beating the Rangers' Zords. After fighting Tenaya, Dr. K tricks her into using the original Reflection robot in order to copy a second MacGuffin device. With it, she creates a new Megazord combination and the Rangers use it to destroy the robot while Dr. K flushes out Tenaya out of her lab through the power of the violin. But throughout the episode, we also get flashbacks to K's past of being a child genius and being taken away to a military think tank codenamed Alphabet Soup. They told her that she was allergic to the sun and set her to work creating new bounds in the field of science.
I wish I could remember my name.
After meeting two silly twins, Kay discovers that she was never.
It's your birthday!
And we're friends!
Gemma, you two should know, I don't even like you.
That she was never allergic to the sun and had been lied to for years. She then shows the twins her escape plan.
I just need to blind the servers for a few minutes. With this. A wireless upload of the Venjix virus. It's a self-aware, self-generating computer virus. Meet Project Venjix.
But before she could upload a firewall to stop the virus from spreading, she and her friends were dragged away. The virus quickly brings the world to its knees and Kay escapes the bunker with the help of the twins with the Ranger series technology. Unfortunately, the twins totally die and don't come back as Rangers later. So why does this episode work so well? Well, it uses the monster as in the robot in multiple ways. As a threat to the Rangers, a way for Tenaya to break into the lab, and finally as a way to create the new MacGuffin device. Throw in this also includes the point about how Venjix is now more advanced than humanity in terms of technology, which then allows Kay to have her flashbacks to her past, which not only explains her backstory but also foreshadows the future Gold and Silver Rangers. In this episode, the monster is more than just a threat to humanity, but my second example would be a bit more monstrous from the anime Bleach. Seeing as Bleach is now known as Dragon Ball Z with swords, when it first started it was actually a Monster of the Week story before the Soul Society arc. The plot was the Soul Reaper Rukia was injured in a battle and handed her powers to teenager Ichigo to battle the Hollows, which are human souls which are not purified after death by being sent to the Soul Society. The mini-arc I'm spotlighting is about the Grand Fisher, a special type of Hollow which uses its tentacle thing to attract prey, by the end transforming into anything. This one uses a little girl as bait, but it has a connection to Ichigo. When he was a kid he saw the bait and ran towards her. His mother chased after him and disappeared. Ichigo later discovered the Grand Fisherman on the anniversary of his mother's death and discovers the truth.
What an asshole!
During the battle, the fisherman uses his bait as a shield by transforming into Ichigo's mother and delivering a devastating blow to him, but Ichigo strikes back and forces the fisherman to retreat. A lot of what makes this one work can also be said for the RPM episode I spotlighted. A villain who is not only an antagonist but manages to connect to the protagonist's past also represents a more powerful threat that can stand a challenge to the hero. However, this one leaves the fate of the monster ambiguous, so it can be brought back later to battle the hero, which is actually unique for this type of story. These are the building blocks to making great Monster of the Week stories, using the monsters in effective ways to affect the characters and challenge them in not only battle but in their own characters and their own past. I haven't even gone into other shows like The Endless World called Scooby-Doo and the previously mentioned Sentai and Kamen Riders, and so many more to explore and enjoy, and of course JoJo's. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more content from yours truly. Also, I have a Twitter now, links in the description to follow me.